Hello everyone and welcome to Deakin College. Today we have an information session regarding our Diploma of Business. My name is Danielle and I am part of the marketing team here. We do have Jeff Skolnick, who is the academic coordinator, who will lead you through the webinar today. However, we also do have some of our panelists on board to assist with any questions that you do have. We will have an open session at the end for question and answers. However, if you do have a question during the presentation, please feel free to put it in the Q&A section at the tab and at the bottom, and we'll be able to answer those throughout the presentation. So I won't hold you any longer. I'll move to Jeff to take over. Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Danielle. Thank you. Hi, everybody. My name is Jeff Skolnick. I'm the academic coordinator for the Diploma of Business course. And today, if we go on to the next slide, today we're going to look at a number of things. So we're going to look at the Diploma of Business course, some general information about the course. We're going to look at online studies that will be happening in trimester 3. We'll also look at the units that you'll be taking in your first trimester, including recommended units, and some frequently asked questions. And then there'll be a time, as Daniel mentioned, for you to ask some further questions. So the Diploma of Business provides a pathway into the second year of the Bachelor of Business degree program at Deakin University. And so in the Diploma of Business course, you'll be doing 8 units with us, and they will then transfer to the second year of the degree program. So the program for the diploma, it's designed to help students become critical thinkers in the business field, and later on in some further slides, I'll show you what sort of majors, what sort of types of studies you can do in your second and third year. So the Diploma of Business is made up of 8 units and 1 academic integrity unit, which is a 0 credit point unit. So in the Diploma of Business course, you can see there's a variety of different units that you'll be doing. A financial unit, there's a marketing unit, management, there's a unit about the economy, there's an information, a unit about information and making sense of that, a business logistics unit, a unit about yourself. It's more about reflecting on your own skills and who you are as a person. And finally, the entrepreneurship and innovation unit as well. So most students complete the Diploma of Business course in 12 months. So what happens is you'll enroll in 3 units in your first trimester, 3 units in your second trimester, and 2 units in the third trimester. Some students decide to do the course in 8 months, which is quite a heavy load. It means doing 4 units in your first trimester and then 4 in the second trimester. If I can just say that for every unit that you do, you're spending 4 hours face-to-face or 4 hours online with your teacher and your other students. And the other 4 to 6 hours is time spent outside of class. So there's about 10 hours of work per unit required. So we recommend doing 3 units, which is equivalent to 30 hours per week, which is like having a job, from Monday to Friday, Monday to Thursday, say 9 to 5. That's the equivalent. If you're doing 4 units, it's 40 hours a week, which is quite a lot. So we recommend 3 units. So where does the Diploma of Business lead you? So as I mentioned earlier on, it takes you into the second year of your Bachelor of Business course. On the left-hand side of the slides here, you can see in green, it says core units. So there are 10 core units that you're required to do at Deakin University in your Bachelor of Business course. So at Deakin College, we will take you through 8 of those units, and you'll see that there's a unit called Team Dynamics, and on the bottom, another unit called Global Mindset and Citizenship. Those 2 units you'll be doing at Deakin University. The other 8 you'll be doing with us at Deakin College. On the right-hand side, you can see there's a number of different majors that you can do in your second and third year at Deakin University. So there's a whole lot of different things you can do. If you wanted to have a look now at perhaps those majors in more detail, I'd recommend going on to the Bachelor of Business program at Deakin University and having a look at what units you'll be doing. I think it's always good to see what sort of studies you'll be doing in your second and third year now to just give you some extra motivation to study in your first year. So transferring to Deakin University. So if you're an Australian or a permanent resident, you require an average mark of a WAM of 60. You need to pass all of your 8 units. So a WAM, what a WAM means is you need to get at least 60, which if I can just simply state that if you're doing the 8 units, at the end of the Diploma of Business course, if you completed the 8 units and you got 60 for all of those 8 units, then your average mark would be 60. So your WAM would be 60. So that's how that works. So at Burwood campus, you need 60 if you're a Australian or permanent resident, 50 at other campuses, that's at Waterfront or on the cloud. If you're an international student, you need to have a WAM of 50, so an average mark of 50. And if you're wanting to do the Bachelor of Laws, you need to get a WAM of 70 for all campuses. So you're unable to transfer to Deakin University unless you pass all the 8 units and you meet the required WAM as well. Finally, there's transfer sessions held at Deakin College every trimester as well, so we will notify you about that. In terms of graduate outcomes, so once you complete the Bachelor of Business degree, there's a number of different things you can do. So, for example, you may want to get a job that's more behind the scenes. So jobs like business analysts, looking at numbers and having a look at how your business is going is one particular type of job. If you wanted to be more at the front and closer to your customers, there's event management, or there's product management or project management. There's even retail management, and you can even start your own small business after you've completed the Bachelor of Business degree and having those skills behind you. So now I'm going to talk about online at Deakin. So in trimester 3, we will be conducting our classes online. So I want to just go through some of those things with you. So first of all, to accessing your classes, we're using the platform Zoom, and what you will see, if you have a look on the right hand side, you can see all these pictures. This is the student portal. So once you log on to Deakin College's website, you'll go into the Deakin College portal, student portal, and on the left hand side you can see Moodle. And when you click on Moodle, that will take you into your courses, into the units that you're enrolled in. And so if we go on to the next slide, we will I'll be able to show you that. So in this example here, just for example, business analytics is one of the units that is taken in another diploma. If you click on the business analytics, it'll then open up the Moodle site, and you can see in this case here that there's class number 1 and class number 2. So you will have a choice when you enroll into which classes you decide to enroll in. Well, say for example you enrolled in class number 1. And so you can see the link to your Zoom session is situated here. And we have 2 Zoom classes per week for each unit. So the previous slide showed that classes start from 11 a.m. until 9 p.m. Or I think that might come up in a next in a slide coming up a bit later on. So you'll need to just click on the Zoom sessions for your particular unit. And so once you click onto your Moodle site, you will also see there's weekly activities and a weekly program. So in this case here, this is an example of marketing MMK 101, which is one of the units you'll be doing. And it shows the 12-week program. If we click on one of those weeks, so for example, you can see on the right-hand side, we've got week 1. You'll see a bit of an introduction to what week 1 is about. You'll see some activities that you'll need to do before class. There's activities that will be done during class, which will include your lecture notes. And then there's some activities to do after class as well. So every week there'll be some things for you to do. Up the very top as well, you'll see there's resources. You'll find your assessments situated in there as well. So don't worry about this too much. Your teacher in the first class will go through a lot of this with you. So as I mentioned about your teachers, so the teachers are there to support you. They're the first port of call if you need some support with your studies. Teachers will also have a Zoom drop-in session For you, for students, if you need some additional support and help, so they can meet after class, and you can make an appointment with your teachers if you wanted to make another time. We also have student learning advisors or academic learning advisors that can also support you. They will be having workshops throughout the trimester, and they can also meet with you one-to-one. They can support you in terms of time management skills. They can help you with exam preparation as well, and they can help you get started with many assignments that you may need to do. The final one there are called PAR mentors. Now, a PAR mentor, these are students who have completed the units that you'll be doing, and these students have either got a distinction or a high distinction in their unit, and you can meet with them one-to-one throughout the trimester at any time. You can make an appointment with them, and they can help you along the way. They won't do the assignments for you, but they can give you some tips on how they approach things, and so they're really good people to speak to. Some of them are still studying with us at Deakin College, and others have gone on into the Bachelor of Business program in their second or third year. So in terms of assessments and exams, so the Diploma of Business course has a number of different types of assessments. We have online quizzes, there's tests, there's some units have oral presentations, and there's assignments and case studies in some. To upload your assignments, we use Moodle, which allows you to put your assignments up there, and then your teachers will mark your work. Teachers are there, as I mentioned earlier on, to support you, and they can provide you with the skills that you need to help you with your assignments. So we do that in class, as well as support outside of class as well. All of your units, except for one of the units, except for MMM 111, interpersonal skills, all the others have exams, and the exams are 2 hours long, and they're held in our week 13, and they'll all be online. So I'm going to now take you through 4 units that you'll see when you enrol coming up a bit later on in the year. So I know we start in October, so you'll be able to enrol sometime before that. So if we have a look at the next 4 slides, I'll be showing you 4 units that you'll be able to enrol in. And as I said before, we recommend that you enrol in 3 of these, not 4. 4 is probably too much. So the very first unit is called Financial Literacy, and so it's all about finance, and there's a bit of a blurb about this unit. It's an introduction to financial literacy, and it'll help you as a student with your personal investment decisions and risk profiles. It'll help you looking at financial resourcing and investment decisions in relation to business as well. And on the bottom of each of these slides, you can see the breakdown of the assessments. So in this case here, in terms of class, the 12-week program, there's going to be assessments that will be worth 60%. And then in week 13, the final exam will be worth 40%. The another unit that you'll be able to do in your first trimester and enroll in is called Marketing Fundamentals. So this is an introduction to marketing, and it looks at marketing from a non-profit organisation's point of view, a profit organisation's point of view, or a government organisation's point of view. Every organisation needs marketing. Marketing is really important, and so we're looking at things such as we call it the marketing mix, and we look at looking at customers as well, both our end use customers if you're working in retail, so looking at consumers, or maybe we're looking at customers that are other businesses as well. The other unit is called the global economy. So as the name says, the global economy, we're looking at economics from a global perspective. So you're looking at things such as the macro environment. Don't worry about these terms if you haven't done economics before. We assume you don't know anything about economics, and we teach you all of the basics. So it also looks at the whole economy in terms of all the sectors in the economy. We look at these policies, which are called monetary and fiscal policy. We look at things such as economic growth, unemployment, inflation, balance of payments and exchange rates. And the assessments are made up of 40% internal, so there's going to be work during the trimester worth 40%, and the final exam is worth 60%. And the final one, so this is the fourth unit. So you'll of these units I've just shown you, when you go to enrol, you'll see these 4 units up on your screen, your enrolment screen, and you can choose 3 of those. You can choose 4, but as I said, I recommend I recommend 3. This unit here looks at information from a business's point of view. So in the digital world, we have access to a lot of information, and so it's up to us to make sure we manage our information well, and we need to make sure that we also are secure, we look after our information. The very final point there talks about security, which is really important, as well as using social media and other ways to communicate with our customers, as well as using that information to research our customers as well, and business opportunities. So on the bottom, you can see what the assessments internal and the final exam will be. And so the final unit that you also need to enrol in, which is a 0 credit point unit, which what that means is it doesn't count towards, there's 8 credit units you'll be doing in your first year with us, and then 8 in your second year, and then 8 in your third year. So that's 24 units all up. But you're also required to complete this academic integrity unit. Deakin University requires that you do this before you start in second year. So I recommend that you enroll in this unit and actually do the unit before you start your classes, if you can. It's only a 3-hour online unit. So you go on to your Moodle site and go through the class materials online and complete a quiz, which is made up of 15 questions. And you need to get at least 13 out of 15 to pass the quiz. If you don't pass it the first time, you can do the quiz as many times as you like. And we recommend that we would recommend that you complete the quiz or complete the unit before the end of week 12. Okay, so now we're moving on to frequently asked questions. So these are some questions you may have in your mind. So the first one here is about purchasing textbooks. So I know that your teachers will talk about, in the first week, they'll talk about the textbooks and maybe an ebook. We recommend that you actually have these ready in the first week, ready to go. So when you enroll, you'll find in your enrollment pack, you'll also have the course outline and also the book list as well. So you'll be able to see what books are needed. Not every unit has a book for in the Diploma of Business. The other question is, are classes recorded? We do record at least one of our classes in each of our units every week. And those units, those recordings are put up onto our Moodle site the following week. And it's really good to go back and have a look at what you've done in class. It's good to go back to the lectures again and rewind and at your own pace, have a look at what the teacher has done as well. So I think that's really good. And so before you start your first class too, you need to come along with to your virtual class, to your Zoom class, with at least a laptop or a computer with Wi-Fi access, and also a camera for your Zoom sessions as well. I mentioned earlier on the timetable starts Australian Eastern Standard Time, so we're in Melbourne. So the classes start 11 a.m. Melbourne or Australian Eastern Standard Time, and they go till 9 p.m. So when you get to choose your timetable, if you think you're an earlier sort of morning person or earlier bird, you can start have your classes around the 11 o'clock mark or sometime a bit later after that. Or if you think that you're a later starter, you can enroll into classes that are a bit later on in the day. Our last class starts from 7 p.m. I should say, 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. All classes run for 2 hours at a time. And as I said, for each unit, there'll be 2 lots of 2-hour classes. There's up to 30 students in each of your units. And enrollment, so you'll be able to enroll at some time coming up soon, and it'll be sometime in September, I believe, as we approach our first class, the first week of the classes, which comes up on the next slide. the end of October. So you'll be able to enrol from early to mid-October in your units. Okay. So what happens in my first class? So your teachers will take you through the assessments and talk about the topics that'll be covered in the first 12 weeks. And you'll get to meet your other fellow students in the class as well. Now, what if I fail a unit? So if you don't pass a unit, you can repeat the unit in the following trimester, or you may decide not to do that the following trimester. You might decide to leave it and do it in the next trimester after that. One thing I need to remind you too is I mentioned about the WAM earlier on. Now, if you don't actually pass a unit, that's included in your WAMs. So for example, if you got 40 for one of the units, you'll need to make up that. Instead of just getting 50, or if it's 60 average you need, you'll obviously need to get a mark higher than 60 to make up for that failed unit. So it's really important that that you, well, I think it's really important if you pass everything, that's really important. But if you don't pass for whatever reason, you'll need to increase in your average mark in the other units. So I always say to my students, there's three good ingredients for success. One is come to all your classes. Number two is hand in all your work. And number three is come to all your exams. So if you follow that, that's a really good ingredient for success. And finally, what is the structure of trimester 3? So on the next slide, I'll show you the look of trimester 3. So the first classes start the week beginning the 26th of October. That's week 1. As you can see on the left-hand side, you've got week 1 right through to week 12. We've got some funny weeks. We've got a week 9A and a week 9B. So week 9A is the last week before we have a trimester break. So we stop for Christmas, New Year. So the week beginning the 28th of, no, I should say the week of 9A goes from the 21st of December to the 22nd of December, and then the trimester stops on the 23rd of December, and we return again on the 11th of January. So there's about, what is that? It's about nearly 2 weeks, probably a 2-week break in between December and January. So between week 9A and 9B. And we go through till week 12, that's face-to-face classes. And then week 13, which is the dark green, is the exam week. And there'll be a timetable that you'll be able to see as you progress through the trimester with the exam timetable as well. So at this point here, I'll open up for any questions that you might have. And Danielle, you might have some questions already in the chat.
Beautiful. Thanks, Jeff. So we will open it up now for questions. So if anyone does have any questions, please feel free to either put them in the Q&A section on the menu, or you can also put them in the chat and we will be able to answer those for you. One question that did come through, Jeff, is that T3 is commencing online. However, what does happen if borders open or classes resume back to face-to-face during the trimester?
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. I know that my management have a plan. They've got a couple of plans. If the borders stay closed, we will continue to be online. But no matter what, we will still have classes that are going to be online classes, no matter what. But there might be some classes that open up and become face-to-face. But I that's a big if, I guess. We don't know if the borders will open up or not. But there are plans for some face-to-face classes if that's the case, but online will continue to be another option as well.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is we will go into, I guess, a hybrid model where we will deliver online and face-to-face.
Correct, that's right, yes.
Amazing. There's just one more that has come through. What is the difference between Diploma of Commerce and Diploma of Business?
That's a really good question. Very good question. So if I can say, the Diploma of Business and the Bachelor of Business is more of a broad course in business. The Bachelor of Commerce and Diploma of Commerce is specialised. It focuses more on finance. If you also want to become an accountant, you need to do the Bachelor of Commerce. But if you wanted to have a more overall, a more general type of business degree, then the Bachelor of Business is that degree. And as I showed earlier on, there are different majors that you can do in the Bachelor of Business as well, and obviously in the Bachelor of Commerce too.
Yeah. And just one more question came through, Jeff. Can they complete the Diploma of Business and then transfer to to Bachelor of Commerce?
Another really good question. So we don't have a direct pathway into the Bachelor of Commerce, but I would recommend that you contact the faculty of the Business and Law faculty at Deakin University. I know that that there is, there are students that have done that. You probably will need to do some first year units, because our first year units and the Diploma of Commerce first year units are different. So you'll probably have to do some of those. However, I would talk to the faculty, because that is an option that that you could pursue, although it's not a direct.
Oh, sorry, Jeff, you've just gone on to mute there.
I'm sorry, how much of that did you get?
No, that's okay. But basically what it will do, if you are transferring from Diploma of Business, or if you study Diploma of Business and then decide to transfer to Commerce, it will actually limit how many majors you can study in your Bachelor of Commerce if you're looking for further exemptions. So as Jeff mentioned, all of the units that are in the Diploma of Business aren't necessarily in the Bachelor of Commerce. So if you are looking to have either a double major or room to do an internship or workplace learning, then it is better off to start the Diploma of Commerce, and vice versa. If you're looking to do a Diploma of Commerce and then perhaps looking to switch to business, then again, it will limit how much you can do within the bachelor course, or alternatively, it will extend your bachelor course if you're looking to just take the credits that go 1-for-1. There's another question for you, Jeff. How many classes do you need to complete in a week?
That's a good question. So it depends on how many units you're doing. So let's assume you're doing 3 units. So every unit has 2 classes. So for example, there might be, I'll just make this up, say marketing is on 11 a.m. to 1 a.m., 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Monday, and maybe it's 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Tuesday, as an example. So that would be marketing for the week. You'd have 2 classes, that's 4 hours. So if you enrolled in 2 more units, you'd have the same thing again. So all up, you'd be doing 12, you'd be doing 2 by 2, 4, 8, that would be 12 hours worth of classes per week. Danny, my maths is correct. I think that's right. 4 times 3 is 12. That's right.
So basically 4 contact hours per subject that you study.
That's right. That's correct.
Jeff, do you have any advice for students who wish to start online, or are a little bit hesitant, I guess, to start online and would like to return to, or wait until face-to-face returns?
Another good question. I know that I know we've had some students who've been concerned about doing online, and I can just say that we went online in trimester 1, and if I can just say, students now are feeling more comfortable with online delivery, and I would give it a go, because our teachers are here to support you. We, as I mentioned before, there is support in the class and outside the class for you. And we have our student learning advisors, and we have our learning mentors to help you as well. I would give it a go and see how things go. But I think sometimes when we haven't tried anything like this before, we probably think we're quite a little bit unsure about it. But I think have a go, come to your first class, and you will find that it's not too bad.
Beautiful. And I think too, just to add to that, Jeff, online isn't something completely new to Deakin. Deakin University were actually one of the first universities in Australia to do distance education prior to internet days, I guess, and then online education. And they have been ranked #1 in Australia and 8th globally. In terms of Deakin College, the online platform that Jeff showed you in terms of where you access class materials, upload your assignments, things like that, that was already in existence prior to COVID. So the only thing for Deakin College that has moved online is your classes. So instead of getting ready for university and then coming to class and sitting in class and listening to your lecturer, you can sit at home in your PJs, on the couch, wherever, and just turn on your laptop and click on a link and be present in class. Another really beautiful advantage about online is that the classes are recorded. So when you are face to face, if you're feeling a bit sleepy or your mind wanders off or you don't quite understand, you don't have that ability to go back and watch a recording. So online does allow you to be able to go back and review some of those lectures, which can be really helpful in terms of preparing for assignments, but also too, when you are preparing for your exam, you can watch all of those lectures over and make sure that you understand the unit thoroughly before entering the exam. So online definitely has its advantages. I guess the only disadvantage is that you are I guess not having the interaction with other students. So at the college, we do have quite a vast number of nationalities that are enrolled with us, and you do miss out on that. However, this is almost like a bridging for you. So you can get your head around the education side so that when you do move to on campus, you understand how college works, which essentially will be how university works, and that will give you more confidence to then start to socialize with your peers.
That's great. I want to just emphasize again that we provide a lot of support for you, and please reach out to us if you need some help, or if you're not sure about something. We have a lot of support at Deakin College, and we have our student portal, which has a lot of support services there for you. So if it's academic or if you have some personal concerns, there are people at Deakin College to help you. So including all your teachers, myself as the academic coordinator, your unit coordinators, student learning advisors, and as I mentioned before, the students as well. The learning mentors can help you as well. So please reach out to us for support if you're unsure about something.
Amazing. We will just give it a couple more minutes, Jeff, just in case there are any further questions coming through. But for everyone that is listening today, you will receive a copy of this PowerPoint presentation as well as a link to the recording as well. So you can go back over if this was a lot of information for you, or alternatively, you can contact me directly if you have any questions. Anything course related, I'm more than happy to forward on to Jeff to assist you with that. We've had a couple of questions come in regarding enrolment. So the enrolment timetable is currently being finalised. So once we do have those dates, which we will believe will be from the 7th of October, so the week of that week will be when your enrolment will be open. You will receive an email. If you've accepted your offer, you will receive an email regarding how to enroll, but also Jeff will be undertaking a how to enroll session specifically for business. So he'll be able to assist you step by step with your enrollment.
Yep.
Amazing. Well, I think that's all coming through today, Jeff. Thank you so much for your time. And
That's
thank
great.
you to everyone who was attending today. If you do have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us.
So I look forward to seeing you at enrolment sessions and also orientation as well, and also in class. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.